Greetings, fellow bookworms, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Arctic, Episode 38, Pursuit of Knowledge. Have I started playing Astroneer, or do I think I'll ever play it again? I have played it. I rather enjoyed it. I haven't played it in a while, and I know that there's been a significant amount of updates since the last time I played, but there's a link for you. Okay, apparently it didn't work. But yeah, the games I play on for content is voted on and suggested, so whether or not I'll ever play it is rather not up to me. I think it was actually proposed for me to play in June, though. Let me double check that. Yes, Zalek suggested that I play Astroneer in June, so there's potential that I play it next month. As Nox says, the way you're having fun is wrong. Yes, exactly. And I don't particularly enjoy developers that take that stance. Because even if I agree with their changes this time around, there's no telling whether or not the way I enjoy the game will be changed and fundamentally removed in the next patch or in the next month, right? Because it makes it seem like the user feedback that the company, you know, from my standpoint, like my content, for instance, is very heavily user feedback engaged. What you guys want, you guys vote on, you guys get. That is a cornerstone of my channel. So it would be very much like if I took the oppositional position of like disagreeing with you for contrarian reasons, of being like, well, I'm not going to play the games you want me to play because I want to then instead disagree with you. It's like, what use is that, man? It's a ridiculous position. And what it would look like contrary to that would be a really good example of that would actually be RimWorld. So, I don't know those of you that know this or not, but all of RimWorld's DLCs up until about a few months ago were completely independent from one another, meaning that they didn't correlate to one another at all. There was no integration between royalty, between biotech or ideology. And that was for design reasons. Tynan decided, their lead developer, the guy who basically made RimWorld, decided that in order to not encourage everybody to have to buy all the DLCs, that the DLCs would be left independent from one another, so that you could just pick and choose and not feel forced to buy them all. And the community on the RimWorld subreddit basically said, don't do that. We're totally okay with you, you know, having them depend on one another. And then within a week, maybe even less, that's exactly what happened. They released an integration patch from fan feedback, and then they started relating to one another, where your ideologies could... you know, your RimWorld ideologies could relate to vampires or robots and things like that were introduced in biotech. Whoa, that is, like, so creepy. It's like a door to nowhere. It's my own personal TARDIS. Cool, so we're fully enclosed now. We have the smallest little balcony out this way. I'm going to add a little bit more planks to this balcony, so it's not just such a death trap. That's hella dark? Yeah. Well, mostly it's because I'm ridiculously tired, so my cone of vision is, like, approaching zero. But yeah, it was hella dark. One could even call it perfect dark. That's super great for small developers. Yeah, right? You know, listen to your customers. and, engage in productive feedback from your community. It seems so obvious, but yet it's so rare. Alright, before I go to sleep here, I am going to need to eat something disgusting. Because my weight is uncontrollably dropping. So, introducing Stick O Butter. It's roughly what you can find at Ren fairs in Iowa, where they'll sell you a stick of butter for you to eat. Sorry, Iowa, but I've seen videos of deep fried butter coming out of your state, and that ain't food. That's just blah. I don't think it's true anymore, but once upon a time, Arctic explorers or like mountain climbers would actually pack butter because calorie to weight ratio was like the most efficient food for them to mountaineer with. Nowadays, they probably just have Sherpas like bring them 3-course like meals prepared by fancy chefs because the people that climb Everest are rich, not with high endurance. But that aside, butter, very caloric. A lot of bang for your buck out of butter. Let's go ahead and poll what to do next. So there's some viewer suggestions of catch up on reading books and enclose the hallway with walls. I could also plaster the walls, the newly built walls. Go fetch some gasoline. Work on an alternative entryway. Or head to a point of interest. Ooh, it's snowing out. Hey, Guerrero, thank you for the bits. Ah, you were just catching up on the latest episode of Hedge Knights? Well, no problem. My pleasure. So I suppose while it's snowing, I want to go upstairs and see if the snow barrels, because honestly, I'm never going to see rain again. The snow barrels are actually... Oh, holy heck. 400, 400, 400... They're full. They're 100% full. I guess they are collecting precipitation way better than I had thought. Way, way, way better than I thought. So maybe I don't need to hit the pools for water. I mean, it's going to be a little tricky to use the rain as the sole source for the farm, but I'll try. So while you guys vote on what I do next, I think I'm going to tend the garden. No, don't fast forward time to nothing. I'm just going to pour a little on, make sure everything says well watered. Although there's room for more water, I think. Feels like most indies are actually in it for the game and will 100% beat out the AAA companies. Yes. There are a few exceptions, but I am right there with you. I essentially do not trust a AAA company to release a game that is worth playing. I have not been satisfied with AAA games in, like, a few years, except for just a few exceptions that pretty much prove the rule. And it's no mistake that my channel is almost entirely indie games. And if I had to make the choice between playing a broken indie game or playing a broken AAA game, broken indie game, please, because AAA companies have hundreds of employees and billions of dollars to fix their stupidly broken games. Indie companies is often like a dude in their garage trying to make ends meet. The two should not be held to the same threshold or bar to meet. So, yeah, I am really actually saddened by the state of video games nowadays and how exploitative and uninventive they are. And I'm really sad because, you know, I have like a 1-year-old and I just don't know what kind of games will... I mean, obviously there will be the oldies, but I just don't know what kind of games will exist once he's like of video game age playing, because so many of the games that are out there, especially games geared towards children, are just rotten to their core. Completely rotten to their core. Exploitative and horrible. So, don't get me started on that, because I think about that regularly. Which is the same reason why I try to be an informed consumer of video games, not buying things that I think are drivel. Because he and all the other children deserve better. And it's, you know, I'll take partial, well, yeah, I'll say it. I'll take partial blame for it. That I feel like our generation should demand better video games, especially given that it's quite a lucrative industry. It's too bad birds don't like strawberries, right? Like, I'd imagine in real life, birds love berries, and trapping birds with strawberries should work, but, like, I don't think that's the case. So it looks like you guys want me to catch up on reading books. Got it? That's the current priority. But before I do that, I need to cook some food, because I am losing way too much weight. Also, where did I put the... Oh, they're in the other freezer. Okay. I was worried for a second that I, like, somehow put the animals that I caught in the traps in the wrong... not in the freezer, and that would have been really sad. Got some rice? I do. Let's, yeah, that sounds good. Let's make, rice. I don't have a stir-fry pan, though, so I don't know if, maybe I can add rice to the stew. Maybe I'll add, kidney beans to the stew. That's pretty caloric. Black beans are also pretty caloric. I'll add kidney beans and black beans to the stew. Try to fatten me up, and I'll grab the rice as well. Oh no! How'd that happen? One of the bird meats cooked? Oh no, all the small... You know what? Fine, whatever. We'll just eat them all. Like a caveman or something, I don't know. I'm too full to eat. I'll prove you wrong. Wait 10 seconds, stuff it right back into your mouth. Hey, Mackenzo. I am doing pretty well. How about yourself? Alright, so I'm putting rice in one and black beans in the other. Then this one will get bird meat, rabbit meat, more black beans, and cabbage. And that's full. And then the other one will get kidney beans. Oh, where'd it go? Rabbit, and rabbit. I can add it to the pans for extra experience. Yeah, I know that you can cook it and then stick it back in to cook it essentially again. It's fine. True. I try to avoid, like, the sort of double dipping, experience-wise. Like, for instance, the watching the TV shows and then watching the tapes. How is this cooked so fast? I mean, I'll pull it off, but holy hell. The stew is... Well, I guess it's rice versus stew. And hey, Beavis, welcome back to the stream. Thank you for resubbing. It has been a while, hasn't it? So I think what I'll do is I'll split this up into 2 bowls rather than 4, so I have enough bowls to go around. If I'm ever out and about, it might not be a bad idea for me to try to look for some more soup bowls. And I'll eat one of these now. It's funny that I mean, it's just given the generic name of, like, bowls of rice, but it's like, it's really not. If I recall, it's mostly, like, bird and stuff, but whatever. And here's the other stew. So 39 and 35. That's very filling and should help to keep my weight up. Yeah, rice does cook very, very fast in the game. And pasta. Whereas, like, stews take forever. I guess if I'm cooking my meat and vegetables, I'll put this stuff in the fridge or freezer. It is reading time. Now, the original goal was to read the trapping books. But I'm going to start with just electrical 2, and then work my way through all the books. So I need to read the next carpentry one as well, sawing the planks. Oh, speaking of which, let's not run out of fuel for the fire. What's my timer at? 30 hours? Because there's not enough space for me to unpack it all, I have to, like, add them until I hit the threshold that allows me to throw them all in. So we're now up to 57 hours. Okay, that's a little bit better. So I don't get bored, I'm going to read outside. As long as I stay warm enough. And electrical 2 is done. I will do trapping next. I think that's a good one to work on. And then I also have metalwork 2 outstanding. Farming 3 outstanding. And Carpentry Master outstanding, but I'll wait on that. I don't think that's nearly as urgent. And I'll spend all of tomorrow bookworming. So, suggest goals. And I'll reuse some of the ones that are already submitted. But if you have any new ones, let me know. Kind of reminds me, I might... Oh, well, this is a good suggestion for a goal. It might be a good idea for me to install some external lights where the doors are. Because it's very hard to see where those doors are otherwise. It'd be funny to just, like, get stuck trying to feel your way into the pool house. You're like, where's the door, man? Let me in! And then realizing, wait, I'm alone. No one can let me in. I wish I had a fireplace. I know it's, burning firewood is not necessarily great for the environment. But I love the smell of, like, you know, burning wood in the fireplace. Smells like New England. Of course, I wouldn't have much use for it where I live now in North Carolina. It kind of doesn't get cold enough. Oh, you know, I just realized I hadn't finished reading the cookbook either. I guess that could be first. It is almost halfway through September now. September 12th. It's a nice, warm, negative, like, 65 Fahrenheit with a wind chill. Seems cozy. And now the cooking's done, let's cook up some more food, because I am trying to gain weight. As much as I would like to just lean into the books, cooking's one of those must-dos. Some of these rabbits are pretty chunk, which is great. So I'll take the two chunkiest rabbits out and defrost them. And we'll mix them with potatoes and cabbage. Maybe I'll even include some spices this time around. I know I'm a heathen for, like, defrosting things in the microwave. It's just easy. And if it's easy, count me in. So, taking a look at the other skills that I have, I'm curious if I have the partials. So, first aid is not a partial, electrical's not a partial, mechanics and tailoring are not partials. Just trapping. Okay. So all the books that I've read, except for trapping, I've read to completion, in other words. Just wanted to make sure that I wasn't overlooking some free experience. Alright, so we got rabbit. We'll add potato. Cabbage. And then more game. It's kind of annoying that it keeps changing the names, which makes it difficult to make it correctly. So this should be super filling once I'm done. Like absurdly so. And what about spices? Salt. Lard. Salt and lard. Okay. That is going to cause me some internal damage once I eat it, I think. Can't wait. Yeah, it was 90 hunger uncooked. So when cooked, it should be even greater. Once it's done. It's probably not. It's definitely not the most caloric thing you can eat in the game. Probably doing a butter, lard stew would be, well, would likely kill you, but would be more caloric. But I don't have the nutritionist background to know, or trait to know the caloric properties of my foods. I just do the best I can. So if you're wondering, cooked it is 116. 116 a piece. I'm gonna put one of the stews on the ground here. And I'll make 4 bowls. It's caloric enough that, or filling enough. 4 bowls is probably good. So I have some backup stew for the future. Just drink straight from the deep fryer? You know, it has already always made me wonder, like, certain things you would imagine, like this sort of, I've seen the joke of like, just eat uranium, it's full of calories, right? But it's like, your body can't necessarily make use of all calories. So all calories aren't necessarily made equal, right? You know, famously, anything that is particularly packed full of cellulose, your body can't really use, it passes. So it makes me wonder, like, how efficient, nutrition-wise, can we make use of, like, cooking oils? Because you can imagine, like, cooking oils are pretty caloric, but, like, does your body absorb them efficiently? Because if it doesn't, then it flushes through your system pretty quick. Again, I am not a nutritionist. This is just me speculating about if you're actually trying to gain weight. What is useful and what is not. Although it does sound like a justification for me to drink cooking oil. And no, that sounds gross. Why am I reading outside? To not get bored, because apparently being in negative 50-degree weather is more interesting than being inside in a well-illuminated, well-heated environment. Because it's just PZ things, dude. I don't get it. I really don't. But yeah, being inside for too long bores the character, so it's best to read outside, regardless of weather. Unless you're agoraphobic, I guess. That would be the, if you have the agoraphobic trait, reading outside is probably not good for you. Or, if it's raining and you don't have outdoorsmen, because then you don't want to be wet and cold, because you'll get sick. Fun fact. If you only eat rabbit, you can still become malnourished. Yeah, if it's really lean meat, it can, you know, I think it's called hair starvation. But yeah, if it's really lean, that will starve you too. You need them fatty meats. So I've only got well, unless I do trapping and foraging, or fishing and foraging, I will preface that there's probably no purpose of me ever to read foraging, because the server settings have foraging set as like a you will never find anything ever, ever, ever setting. But yeah, I'm getting closer to having the books that I need read. If you have viewer suggestions, at the end of today, I'm going to poll. So put your suggestions through the channel points, and I will pull you soon. A guy at work is studying nutrition and said that like 1 to 5% of the calories of oil is passed through you. Interesting. Well, let's see how I'm doing. 77 in climbing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I am gaining weight again. And if history is the best teacher, I think you all know that not only will I fly past the 80 mark, but like then I'll struggle to not pass the 85 mark. Because that's generally how my weight goes. It swings like, well, like I'm Christian Bale. I was going to say like a pendulum, but honestly, Christian Bale's weight for the roles he takes are even more ridiculous. Oh, wait, I was reading farming. All right, let's decide. What am I doing tomorrow? I think the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow is, hold on, let me fix this list. I accidentally left continue reading skill books off the list, because there's plenty of skill books that I just haven't finished yet. Metalwork, farming, carpentry, fishing, and foraging. Can we even really fish? We can. The game, because I'm using mods to make it cold, the mod doesn't really, doesn't affect trapping and fishing. So although, yeah, like realistically there would be no running water, the rivers would be frozen completely over. The same could be said of, trapping as well, right? Like, maybe Arctic foxes and hares could survive in this weather, but, like, they wouldn't be native to this climate. So, functionally speaking, like, there shouldn't even be animals to trap out there. They'd all be frozen and dead. But, luckily, this is a simulated world, not a real one, so I don't have to worry about that. Plant check. Might as well top all this up. If anyone has gaining mass, you used to have that problem. It turns out you have a gluten intolerance. There's a lot of different, there's a lot of reasons to see a doctor if you have trouble maintaining a healthy weight. I think the inverse is largely mostly people's issues, myself included, of trying to not gain too much weight. But generally speaking, if you have trouble keeping the weight on, probably get that checked out, because it could be a whole host of things. I'm not a doctor, but, you know, there's a lot of medical conditions that would, that might relate to. The furnace is out. I think you're right. So I'll stoke that in just a sec. So I don't hear it roaring. I let too much time pass. Let's go get a magazine and some planks of wood. Looks like you guys want me to head to a point of interest and also to scavenge for spicy and fatty foods. So I will do both. I will try to seek out grocery stores or stuff like that. And get myself some super fatty foods. He has 2 treats here. He didn't even take the last one. I guess I didn't poke him enough. I'll head out as soon as the fire doesn't threaten to go out. I've been meaning to, well, I've been tasked with keeping this going at all times, but I'm honestly really bad at it, so I'm doing my best. So we've got 41 hours now. I'll just huck the rest of the planks in there. $62 hours. Seems reasonable. So you want me to go to a point of interest that is ideally has spices and fatty foods. So I gotta figure out what that might be. Because off the top of my head, I don't really know the closest grocery store. The Gigamart to my northeast is not a real Gigamart. It's like the corporate office. So it doesn't have food so much as it has office space. There is a chicken place and a barbecue place nearby, but those chicken place and barbecue place are mostly going to have they're mostly going to have foods that have like long rotted, not the non-perishables that we'd be looking for. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll head to the Gigamart gas station. Unless I've already been there, let me double check. So there's a Gigamart gas station. Okay, never mind, I've already gone there. It's this building X'd off. Something tells me I didn't fully clear it though. There is also a large grocery store down that way. There's a large grocery store here. So I'll put some map symbols where I want to check out. So I want to recheck this building to make sure it doesn't have loot. And then this is a grocery store. And it's sort of just down the road from where I'm at, and I've searched areas near there. And then it also has the benefit of being gas station adjacent. So it allows me to do a gas run as well. Because I'm going to need some gasoline soon. Let's hide that. And I'll update the priority. Search for spices, fatty food, and obtain gasoline. I'm on it. One thing I'm going to do before I go is repair the van a little bit. I don't know if I have this skill, but we'll see. Because I'd like to repair up the trunk so it can store more stuff, and maybe repair the hood so it can take more impact. Nope, metalworking 3, so I lack the skill for that, but at least I can repair the hood. So 72 to 82, 82 to 87 works for me. So one more metalwork and I'll be able to actually repair the trunk. The problem is, now, it's just like slowly getting chipped away. Well, oh well. Got my 5 cans. And we're headed out. If you want me to level up my metalwork, feel free to suggest it as a goal. That's the whole purpose of the viewer-suggested ideas. And the channel point redemption for suggestions. Does this game allow for Mad Max-like reinforcement on vehicles? Through mods, yes. In vanilla natively, no. I ran a series called Nomad for Project Zomboid where I did exactly that for a Jeep. And I hooked up the Jeep with... Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Arctic, which originally streamed live on Twitch May 25th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow zombie slayers.